Hi friends, it's time for another art lesson with Ms.Stauffer. You know, we've been talking about the art element of color all this month, and we've been doing lots of fun color projects. Well, this week and next week we're going to finish up the unit on color. But before we do that, I wanted to tell you about some of the art projects I did this summer when I took a design and color class, the Principles of Design. So this is the book I keep my art in from my art class, and it's called a portfolio. And a portfolio is a book that you keep art in. It's a place where you keep your art. So I'm going to just show you some of the color things I did. So I've already showed you, I did this color wheel. I showed you that, and I painted all those colors. And I'm just going to do this quick because there's so many things you can learn about color, and we won't be able to learn all of them this year, but maybe some other years I'll talk about some of the different things we can learn about color. And one of the things we can learn is we already learned this. This is the warm colors and the cool colors. So I did that lesson. And then another thing we can learn is about hues and value. And value is kind of the lights and darks of colors. And then down here, this is called tints. A tint is a color plus white. So you have the color, then you keep adding more white to it. So it goes from dark to light. And a tone is a color plus gray. So you add some gray to the color and you can get all these different tones. And then a shade is a color with black. So you start with the main color and then you keep adding more and more black to it. So it gets really dark. So there's tints, tones, and shades. And then over here, this talks about intensity and saturation, and is like how rich the color is. Like if it has a lot of color and it's really vibrant, or if it has a lot of white in it and it's just really, really mellow. So that's saturation. And you can see that on your phone. If you take pictures on your cell phone, there's one of the things that you can change on is the saturation. So you can add more color to it. Anyway, and then there's complementary colors, which we probably won't get into this year, but sometimes we do projects with complementary colors. So like purple and yellow are complementary, blue and orange, red and green. And then down here, I think it was just complementary pairs. So that was just working with complementary colors. And then we had to do some projects, and this is called the triad color scheme. And that's where I picked like 3 colors that make a triangle shape on the color wheel. So on this one, I did yellow, green, blue, violet, and red, orange for that picture. And this was monochromatic. And monochromatic means one. Mono means one. Chromatic means color. So this is all blue, but it's all different shades and tints and tones of blue. So it's like from light blue to dark blue. That's monochromatic. And then this was complementary colors, the tulips. And then this one was analogous colors. And that, my friends, is what we're going to learn about today, is analogous colors. It's a really fun thing. So that's what I'm going to teach you about. Okay, so the analogous colors on the color wheel are colors that are next to each other. So in this example, it has yellow, and then it has orange yellow, and then just plain orange. So they're all right by each other. And in an analogous color scheme, you could pick like 3 colors by each other, or you could pick up to like 6 or 7 colors. So if I started at yellow and I went around the color wheel and stopped over here, I could use all these colors in an analogous scheme. But I can't skip any colors. They have to be colors that are right by each other. So here's just some examples of that. So I'm going to hand out one of these to all of you to look at when you do your project. So I did a couple examples for you, and this one is analogous colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, and I picked 7 colors for this one. And the colors I picked were yellow green, green, blue green, light blue, blue, purple, and red violet. So you can color, as long as you pick the colors that you want to use, then you can just color the animal however you want. And on this one, I did analogous colors that were warm colors. These ones were, as you all know, cool colors. And the warm colors on this one were red, orange, yellow, red, orange, and yellow, orange. Those are I only picked those 5 colors that I used for this whole picture. They're all next to each other on the color wheel. So you guys get to choose what animal you want to do your analogous color scheme. So there's tiger, you could choose, or this is like a fox or a wolf. I think it's more like a fox. And then this is a snake, a bear, an owl, a lion, and an eagle. So any one of these animals you want to do your analogous color scheme, you can choose which one you want to do. So think right now about which animal you're going to pick so that when I get done with this lesson, you'll know the animal you want to do, so we don't have to take a lot of time thinking about that. Think about that right now so it's in your brain. All right, so I looked through all my colored pencils and I decided to use, these are the colors I decided to use for this butterfly. Oh yeah, there's also a butterfly that you can choose from. I forgot to tell you that. There's a butterfly. So I did red. These are the ones I chose. Red. And if you don't have a pencil, that usually if you look at your pencil, it tells you the color of it. But there isn't one that says red violet, but just find one that looks about like that same color. And this one I chose actually is called red. It's called ruby red, but it looks like red violet. And then I picked violet, which is the same as purple. And then I picked this blue violet, which is pretty close. And then I picked blue, and then I picked blue green. So I found the pencils that match the colors on the color wheel. So do that first. So I'm going to use these 6 colors on my butterfly. So I'll get doing that. Okay, so I finished my analogous colors butterfly, and these are the colors I used, but you don't have to write your colors on there if you don't want to, but I did red, violet, blue, and blue green. And then I just added, of course, black isn't on the color wheel, but I just wanted to make the middle of the butterfly really stand out, so I did that black. The other thing is, I was going to tell you that all of these animals that you can choose from, every one of them is has a symmetrical face. I purposely chose them like that. And symmetrical, if you guys know what it is, I'm gonna let you tell me. So I'll wait a minute if anybody knows what symmetrical is. Okay, so if you guys were right, the thing about a symmetrical face is it's exactly the same on both sides. So like if I folded this paper in half, this eagle's face on that side is the same as that side. So that's symmetrical. So like the butterfly is perfectly symmetrical. And that's just one of the terms you might learn in math this year. And if it's not the same on both sides, if one side is different than the other, that's called asymmetrical. So there's some math terms for you. So these are good animals to use for symmetrical artwork. So I hope you guys had fun doing the analogous colors on the color wheel for your project today. And I'll see you guys next time.